All right, next community question. Krista, give it to us.
I wanted to read this one because it has wing in it. Okay. The question is, how much are you all just winging it?
How much are we
What would we have
winging it?
What would we have been winging it about?
What?
Jared, have you ever known us to wing anything?
You know how some people are like ready, fire, aim?
Yeah.
We are like ready, aim, let's schedule another aim meeting, aim, and then actually, you know what? Let's not call it fire.
He's so right.
Except for then we end up calling everything fire.
Except other times where it turns out that Tom and Mark have been firing things the whole time before the meeting. And I mean, jokingly, ha 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 ha, we're totally winging it all the time. Then there's a very serious answer to this where it's like, listen, we have all been in business for decades and like we're taking this seriously and, you know, you can trust us. And then there's, I think, the more like foundational to who we are answer, which is like if you're not winging it a little bit, like you're not stretching yourself outside your comfort zone. And, you know, we don't want to be just in our comfort zone. We want to be uncomfortable all the time. And so we are often going into a territory we've not been in before, which has a little bit of winging it that is, you know, safe because of what we bring to that situation. But yeah, there is a lot of us going into spaces and doing things that we've never done before. So there is a fair degree of winging it. But I think that that's where you want to be.
I think there's a certain amount of winging it in like the trust that we give each other, where we will like all together come up with like the starting of like a path and concept, and then we'll like say to an individual person, like, you know, run with that, take it to where you can see it going, and then bring it back to us. And in that sense, we're kind of telling that person, like, you know, go wing it, like give us whatever you can summon out of you, and then we're all going to come back together.
What's interesting is, you know, when I first thought of this question, my first reaction was I wing it all the time. But at the same time, I'm not sure that's true, because even you, Jared, talking about, okay, go wing it. Winging it to me feels like there's like a lack of preparation, a lack of strategy. And I think at least that I may do things fast, but there's all this like preparation and skill that I've honed over a period of time that makes any time that I can kind of hyper focus for a few minutes and prepare, I've got years of preparation behind me. And so it's never really winging it. It's just I only need a short period of time to prepare for something.
Yeah, and I think that's pretty ideal. Like when you spend your time like honing your tools so that when you are in the moment where it requires the use of them, you don't have to think about them. You don't have to think about, you know, all that goes into it. You can just be there in the moment and act.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And there's also an extent to which, and I, you know, super identify with that, but there's also an extent to which, like, part of just about everyone's job description here is, like, make up something really cool. Mm-hmm. Like, and everyone wears multiple hats and blah, blah, blah. And I think that part of what we have cultivated in this space is we're going to bring together a bunch of people who are very, like, you can trust them to wing it.
Yeah.
Like, go figure out how this process works. Mm-hmm. Go figure out the most efficient way to do this thing we have no idea right now how to do. Mm-hmm. Like, go and wing it really well is basically what most startups are. And that is effectively what we are. Mm-hmm. And I think that is sort of, we are winging it. But
so if the definition of winging it is like quickly problem solving.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay. I'm
or
behind
is the
that.
definition of winging it, adding wings to everything?
This changes everything. And I feel like we need to start the conversation over.
How much are you
Because we are
winging
not
it?
winging it nearly as much as we probably should be.
No. Let's add wings. Or not.
Yes.
Let's add wings to the mummy. Then what?
Now you've done it.
Uh-huh.
Call back.